So I kind of messed up, and I think we're all gonna have to pay for it now. Here's the headline. Former Blizzard president Mike Ybarra proposed tipping for video games. It all stems from this tweet. Basically, if you like the game so much, Mike Ybarra would like the option to tip at the end of the game because the game is so special. And the examples of the special games? Well, I can agree with a lot of them, like Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, RDR2, etc. There's just one major component to those games that also ties into the idea of tipping. They don't freaking include a shit ton of microtransactions. They don't include fast travel or currencies or other bullshit. You know, games like, they don't include all this stuff like basically everything that Mike Ybarra put into Diablo Immortal. So this idea of tipping for a game isn't actually on its face a bad thing, especially if you consider it in the terms of you're trying to pay for development. In fact, it kind of exists in a little bit of a way. The only thing is you have to go and do it on Humble Bundle, which allows you in a lot of cases to pay what you want, with a lot of that going to charity, and you can adjust the sliders to see if you want to go to charity or to the publisher or to Humble Bundle themselves. But that's a very limited case and is generally not for the type of games that were going to be on this list, right? That's not the whole idea. But there's a huge component here, and it's why it breaks down. And it has all to do with just how games work and how the game industry works currently. And well, really how most industries work. And that's that there's never really enough, right? So it doesn't matter that if you include tips, because the idea for most is going to be, well, now you have tips, which is one revenue stream, but you also have microtransactions, which is another revenue stream. And then you have the box price of the game, which is another revenue stream. And all of that will look great to our investors. And that's where it breaks down. And I think it's kind of a common sentiment because Mike Ybarra's tweet had 494,000 impressions, but it only got 714 likes to 730 comments and 364 reposts. Except I would absolutely love to pull some of those comments, and I actually went to go look for them, and all I found was people trying to sell things, a bunch of tweets of unrelated things that had nothing to do with the original tweet, and just basically just a bunch of nonsense that didn't relate at all. So God, Twitter sucks now. It's awful. It used to be a really good place to get like breaking news. I still use it to get breaking news for games so I can make videos on it, but shit, the comments. Anyway, but why do I say that this is all my fault? Why did I open this with it? It's not just because I just kind of defended tipping in games, but because of a tweet that I made. You see, I've been thinking a lot about microtransactions lately. I actually made a video on it on this channel, one of several that I've made on the subject on this channel. And well, you see, I got a little bit frustrated seeing Dragon's Dogma 2 launch for $70, a premium price, and including the same microtransactions that company has become known for, with their new $70 price. And so I posted this tweet on March 25th. This will probably go down as a bad tweet. I didn't expect it to be that soon. But for fuck's sake, can we just get rid of microtransactions and replace them with an optional tip? The incentive is then to make a good enough game to warrant a tip, not bad enough to encourage a microtransaction to make it fun. To kind of defend myself here and this tweet, this all stems from a feeling of helplessness, a feeling of hopelessness when it comes to microtransactions, a feeling that I've had a lot over the last couple years, because it seems like it really is a battle that we have lost. It's not just the most egregious examples, though those will get the headlines. It's everywhere. Even games that have never had microtransactions now have microtransactions. Games that have the box price, the sub price, and expansion costs also have microtransactions. There is a constant infiltration of these into every aspect of gaming, and is perhaps the worst in the MMORPG space because it is the biggest of live service games. They continue on and they serve multiple people at the same time. We've gotten to a point where battle passes are normal in these games. We've gotten to a point where so many things are just normal in the games. And two of the biggest MMOs that are launching this year, new MMOs, are likely gonna have some pretty bad pay to win elements. And it's a frustrating thing to the point where I'm just like, I just want them not to be made worse on purpose, because that's essentially what microtransactions come down to. They are designed in a way that is encouraging you to buy them. How do they do that? Well, they make the game shittier. They do things like, well, you have some bag space, but what if you had a bit more bag space? Because that thing that you need 10 items of, well, we could have made that 10 items stackable. But how about instead they can't be stacked? And so that now you either have to make multiple trips with your shitty little bag, or you could buy the 20 slot bag for $2.99 on the marketplace. Wouldn't that make everything so much easier? The idea of tipping in games essentially just comes down to the opposite of that. That basically you are encouraging them to make a game that is good and fun, and so much good and fun that you want to support the game more. Not by getting things that get rid of the shitty thing that they put in front of you in the game. And yes, obviously, that would result in less money because you're more likely to buy the microtransaction than you would be to tip. I think that's just a general understanding that if you're going to be giving money, most people are going to want something in return. And it's a little bit more intangible to say, well, I'm giving money for this to continue, for this joy to continue, instead of getting that, really cool mount that they just happen to add on the store and will go away in 7 days if you don't buy it right freaking now. Well, there's which one's going to end up getting more people to pay for it. But this idea of tipping relies on two things for me. First, that it has to go to the devs of the game, not the CEOs of the gigantic company that are actually answering to the stockholders, and not to the players or the devs, and are cutting jobs and killing off jobs in studios to make their investors happy with some bullshit numbers that are made to look better because they just got rid of a bunch of salaries. So no, I don't want it going to them. I don't want to go give a tip to Blizzard. I really don't. I don't mind giving a tip to the developers working at Blizzard. A bonus on their salary. Sure, that sounds like a good thing to me. But to the stockholders, no, thank you. Absolutely not. I don't care about stockholders. But two, and perhaps even more important than any of that, it has to be one or the other. It can't be both. It can't be you have all this, these microtransactions plus tipping. But that's what it would be. We all know that that's what it would be, because that's what it already is. And you don't need to look any further than the source, Mike Ybarra, the former president of Blizzard, who back in 2022 defended Diablo Immortal by defending the monetization came at the end game. Mike, that's predatory monetization. You're getting them hooked on the game and then throwing in the monetization later. That's why I hate Lost Ark. You're giving a taste of the game and getting them invested in it, and then throwing in like really ridiculous monetization later that relies on things like convoluted currencies. Stop. That's not a good thing. That's taking advantage of people. So that's where the issue is. And yes, of course, I know that my tweet didn't make this happen. I know that my tweet didn't, like, Mike Ybarra has no idea who I am. It's more just a tongue-in-cheek thing. But damn, I really didn't expect it to come back to haunt me this soon. Maybe I should watch what I say. This video is probably gonna come back to haunt me. I don't know. Maybe all this means that I'm good at manifesting now, so So maybe I'll manifest a gaming industry without microtransactions. More likely, I'll just try and manifest a sandwich. Maybe something with some cheese, some jalapenos.